Yo, welcome world, welcome back. Thank you for meeting us at the Lookout. My name is Meelz. I'm here with the Platinum Chanel boy himself, Jeff. What's up?
Hey, what's up, dude?
And we have a very special guest for this new episode on season 3 of the Lookout, episode 19 of the Lookout entirely. Well, 18, sorry. Whoa. Oh, shit.
18.
I told you. Hold on, let me take another swig of this green juice for a second.
This is green juice?
I just have, I don't know. It's just, I'm trying to be clean. You know what I'm saying? We have OG Johnny 5, Justin Davis, friend of the show, friend of the podcast, RNC Radio brother, all this other thing.
Friend of life.
Justin, how are you doing?
I'm good. I have the M on my forehead right now.
Oh, okay. Little Majin J5 over here.
That's hard. That's hard.
I feel like Majin J5 is like him on Twitter from 2012 through 2015.
Yo,
he could come back.
If you didn't get to see J5 tweets back then, I'm sorry.
They're gonna be gone soon.
Yeah, I know. There's some stuff in there.
Pay the $8, man. Live your best life. Don't be out here. Don't be out here with James Gunn or anybody else with just your old tweets.
I ain't never said nothing like that, but yeah, I hear you.
Listen, just because your old tweets are fire don't mean they still need to exist. They're old tweets for a reason.
Leave them in the past.
Yeah, leave them in the past, or just don't even have any. Just save them and keep them to yourself. Do we want to play Last Time on the Lookout, Jeff? I know we haven't done this in a while.
Don't, actually. You can, if you want to play, that's fine.
Last Time on the Lookout. And J5, I don't know if you know, but this is the game that we play on the podcast. We start off, it's 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds to summarize what's the last group of events that happened on the podcast.
Jesus Christ.
And it's a mess. It's a mess.
And just for Jeff's sake. All right, so here's the thing, Jeff. This is a very long episode. There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, because next week, when one of us have to do this again, we're gonna have to talk about this.
You're gonna have to talk about this episode. So pick your poison. If
Fine,
you
I'll do next episode, because before we even recorded this so everybody knows, I had no idea we were gonna do this again.
I love springing it up.
You just threw it on me. There's absolutely no way.
It's not on the call sheet. It's not on anything.
I'm saying, bro, it's not written down.
Oh my god! But we have to do this here. I would make J5 do it, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't watched the Buu Saga in years.
He'll just fucking cut a promo. It'd probably be good.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's do Last Time on the Lookout. Do you want to do the timer? Because I feel like people
yeah, hold up. let me pull it up on my iPhone 10.
When I do the timer, and then people are like, "That wasn't 30 seconds. That was."
Fuck them, bro.
Listen.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Last time on the Lookout, we talked about the beginning of the Buu Saga. Well, first of all, in the Buu Saga, we had to talk about the Otherworld Tournament, which did not matter. And then we went to the Great Saiyaman Saga, which was just Gohan in a do-rag and finding, his new lady, Videl. And then we got to the tournament where Goku showed up, because he only shows up to fight. He doesn't show up to be a dad or anything like that. And Gohan got stabbed at the end. We met Supreme Kai. We did a whole bunch of other things. And now we're going to head into Majin Buu. How much I got left?
Time's up, you word. Right there, bro. You're at 30
He did pretty good.
As soon as you said that was great. That was probably the best one we've had.
I've done pretty. Listen, it's a benefit that I mostly come up with the call sheet of the show.
This is true too. You probably read it a good bit.
So I love when pretty much Jeff does it. So
you know what? One day, I got about 10 notifications, because between you and Mark, y'all edit the call sheet throughout the day. So I'm getting
I'm trying to do
the notes have been edited.
I'm trying to do it less. I'm trying to do it.
I don't mind, bro. I'm just teasing.
I'm trying to get it here the first time. Justin J5.
Justin J5.
You have gotten you've gone into this world, and this will come out. This will come out next week, so we'll probably be old. But you've gone into the world. Maybe not gone into the world, but Evo. Let's talk about Evo for a second.
Oh man, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. How was the competition this weekend? You are the guy who manages to find time to watch WWE movies for the late fees, G1 and Evo. How the fuck do you do it?
I'm constantly multitasking. So if I'm watching something, I'm playing Switch. I'm like playing Hollow Knight, or if I'm playing PS4, I'm watching something on iPad, and the TV like PS View is on my laptop. So like I'm multimedia. I am multimedia. So everything is like happening. There's something like happening at all times. But as far as this year, I have to say this is probably one of the best Evos in a long time. I think more than anything. There was a lot of representation from people of color in Evo that were, it's not like mostly like, Asian, Korean, Japanese, Taiwanese. Like there were a lot of black people who placed this year, especially in Dragon Ball Fighters. Since we're talking about Dragon Ball today, like Sonic Fox, of course, won the grand finals against Goichi, who was like his number one kind of like rival in the game. And we all knew it would come down to those two. I think to me, I didn't even bother watching pools. I just watched like the top 8 just to see, what was going on. But I thought it was a pretty solid grand finals. I thought their matches from like earlier this year, like the exhibition that they had, were better. I think Goichi just got way into his head. I think that Sonic Fox just has a way of getting in people's head just from his tweets or things that he says.
Listen, he comes out in a giant fox costume.
That's what happened. That's what happened. I think that's what intimidated him. And of course, Sonic Fox won in very convincing fashions as well. My thing with DB, with Dragon Ball Fighters, is that, and this has changed now because there was a huge patch today that changed everything in the game, as well as introduced base form Vegeta and Goku, was that it was too much Cell, Majin Buu, Android, Vegeta stuff. And if you look at the top 8, it's mostly those teams. They called it Cell games, and they said it, for that very reason. But I think Cell, by the time next year rolls around, or even just the next major, Cell will fall out of favor with a lot of characters, and I think that's what's needed, because I think that's where I kind of fell off kind of watching it, because it just became the same thing over and over again.
Right.
Man.
But as far as everything else, like Tekken was excellent. I thought Tekken was probably the greatest tournament of the show, probably the best tournament of the show. I think that the Rise of the Little Majin,
yeah, that was fun to watch, man.
Such a great story, right? Like it
was just like, even in gaming, bro, it's like I look for those personalities like outside of actually playing the game, and he just has that. He just got it. He has it.
Yeah, he does. He placed top 3. He was the first American to ever place that high in Tekken 7 in the 4 years that game has been out. Just think about that. He defeated former champions. He defeated the person who won last year at EVO. And sent him to losers, and he ended up getting eliminated. And I thought that was just fucking amazing. And he did this with King, who was considered a C to D tier character. I like to say that everyone in Tekken is viable, but he was beating people in that tournament where the matchup was like 9-1, in my opinion. Right. And I think that made King look like he was the killer. I think a lot of people like over this week are playing King.
Just off of that.
And the biggest upset for Evo obviously was in the main event of Street Fighter V, where you had Problem X from the UK beating Tokido, who won last year, who won it in basically a squash match against Punk. And he won convincingly as well. Tokido, of course, reset the bracket, but Problem X pretty much just put the boots to him. And his Bison play throughout the whole weekend was just stellar. I've never seen Bison play to that level. And once again, another person of color, black guy, won Evo, and I thought that was very promising and very, to me, seeing things like that makes it feel like anyone can do it, and I think that was the theme of Evo this year. Great tournament. I advise anybody to go back and watch the archives of those matches that I mentioned.
Hey, is new Smash Bros. Going to replace Melee? You think that's what they're going for?
Like Melee did 140k views Sunday afternoon. It was, of course, it's a Sunday game. Smash 4 was a Saturday game. There was big drama over Bayonetta, I believe, on Saturday.
Yeah,
she's broken. Okay?
Yeah.
But the thing is that there's stats that show that like Diddy Kong wins more tournaments than she does. So it's like, is she really as broken as people think, or they just don't like the character? I mean, here's my thing: like Smash fans voted for her. They voted for her, and she got put in the game. Like, don't be upset at her now, but. Ultimate going to be balanced? It's how hard is it to balance a game with over 80 characters?
I'm going to assume it's going to take at least a year to balance that game out fully.
Yeah,
it's going to take a while. That game probably won't look perfect for another year after it's out.
Like They just announced Castlevania. Simon and Trevor or Richter. Is it Richter or Trevor?
It's Richter.
It's Richter. They introduced Simon and Richter. They introduced Dark Samus as a Echo character. They introduced K. Rool. Really cool additions. I think it looks great. I am not sure that it is enough to beat Melee, but I do think that this will be Melee's final year. I think they move Melee to a Saturday game with Smash 4, and I think they move Ultimate up to Sunday. So Nintendo doesn't even put money behind Melee. They'll put the sponsorship behind 4. So I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Listen, this all sounds fucking incredible.
The fact that I have time to even know like analysis.
You gotta get a system, man.
You gotta get a system, Meelz. You gotta get on GTA with us.
Listen, from hearing all the things that you guys do on GTA, I definitely have to get on.
It's hilarious.
Listen, maybe we get the RNC Twitch channel at some point in the future.
I'm with it. I mean, I'm down for games.
It needs to happen.
I'm in my post Evo. I want to play fighting games again thing until around mid-September. So I mean, I'm definitely on.
Listen, if you want to see that, just let us know. Hit up RNC Radio Live and let us know if you'd be interested in watching us play video games or anything of the sort on this. With the characters we have, we can invite any other people maybe and what they have. Running back, we got Dragon Ball. We got Dragon Ball stuff to talk about, last week we talked about, and shout out to Johnny Barnes, shout out to him.
Man, I'm so happy to have him on, man.
He's a great guy. He literally is. And we had him on the first episode to talk about the intro to everything, and it was just sort of setting up the plot, setting up the characters, and what last week's sort of episode or everything that we covered last week sort of did was it essentially just said, okay, this is a new Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
this is a new Dragon Ball with new characters. We got Teen Gohan going through puberty and trying to figure his life out with girls and stuff like that. We got Videl. Videl's new first. One of the first female, characters to sort of be added since I guess Android 18. There's not a lot of female representation in Dragon Ball, at least strong, combative ones. We had Goten and Trunks introduced to the series, and we have just a myriad of changes, just everything sort of changing all at once. But now we are finally getting into the plot, the reason why this is called the Buu Saga. But with the Buu Saga, the thing is, there's so many fucking moving parts with this shit.
Right.
There's so many moving parts, especially with what we're going to talk about today, because there's moving parts with the World Tournament. The World Tournament is going on amidst all these, we got to find Majin Buu, and we got to do all this other stuff. They find another moving part. They find Majin Buu. Another moving part, we have Majin Vegeta. Another moving part, we have Goku versus Vegeta. And another moving part, we have Gohan trying to stop Majin Buu. There's literally so much things going on.
It's a mess.
All at once.
At some point, it's a mess. It's put together odd. We discussed that. I just think that what they were trying to do was build a huge anticipation, but I just feel like when we start talking about Buu, I really want to know if it could have been a different Majin Buu that y'all saw first, would have been the same for you.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
visually, the Majin
like if
Buu.
he wasn't, a giant, fat.
Right.
I had always thought that was Toriyama's comment on how evil can't be defined by looks. Yeah, it can come in all shapes and sizes.
Right.
I was okay with Fat Buu.
I mean, I know there
He's
were
so
different...
unorthodox.
He is, and I know there was like different Have you seen like the sketches of Majin Buu? Like Akira Toriyama's actual like old sketches of Majin Buu. It's actually a thing to see.
Like some of the originals.
Yeah, he has a few sketches of.
There's a few misprints in mangas. Actually,
yeah, it's you kind of see where he was trying to go with it, and not all of it was fat at the beginning, and then I just it became more rotund, and it became a lot of different things. I'll probably send it to you guys right now. We got the Majin Buu saga. There's so many sort of moving parts going on with this, but I think one of the first parts that we want to go to is the conclusion of the World Martial Arts Tournament, because I feel like we need to get this out of the way.
Please.
Literally everyone who had mattered to the Dragon Ball audience is left.
They had to go. Things had to get handled.
Everyone has left. We talked about it last week. Supreme Kai left. Goku said he's going after him. Vegeta says he's going. Piccolo, Krillin. Everyone's gone. Even Videl is gone at some point. Gohan's gone. Everyone is gone. We have the final participants in the World Martial Arts Tournament, and they literally have no idea what to do with it. What did you think about the idea of them doing this sort of battle royal, which kind of like lends itself to maybe the tournament of power that we got? Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't have any kind of real emotion. I just think it was, you want to call it a filler. It's kind of weird to call it a filler, but it's just like they have to complete it, and it's cool. I mean, it's not like Mighty Mask is still there, 18 still there. The black dude was involved too.
We have Killer, we have Jewel.
I like Jewel.
All right, see, that's what I'm talking about. I want someone who's a fan of somebody else. Why do you like Jewel?
To me, a bunch of it is like the look. He looked like Ken from Street Fighter.
They do that a lot, dude. A lot of those characters that don't mean anything, they always look dope.
We have Jewel, we have Killer, we have Mighty Mask, which is Goten and Trunks. We have Android 18, and we have Mr. Satan, and they decide, listen, we're going to make this into a battle royale. We're going to do it, or at least Mr. Satan brings that idea. He was like, listen, we only have 5 people left. Let's do a tournament. I can beat all these, chumps at once. Immediately the bell rings. Boom. Jewel and Killer are out of here. One hit.
He kicked him out, and not only that, like Jewel's supposed to be like this popular martial. I really do feel like this was a shot at Ken, to be honest, because like he's like rich, he's like super well known. He has a jetpack, and it's like just kick him out the ring. He's gone.
A little shot. Get him out of here.
You know what?
We already knew Killer was gonna get eliminated.
But then he tried to holler at 18, and I was like, yeah.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't? That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do.
She's an old woman, according to Krillin. It still works.
She gave birth.
Oh wow, Jesus Christ!
Listen, gave birth to a child. Listen, we got them knocked out immediately off rip.
How do you feel about the big Negro lips on Killer? I wouldn't.
Hey man,
we talked about it last week.
We discussed it last week, but like, I mean, it's clearly he's clearly a black man. That's what they wanted us to know.
This is the 80s. This is Japan. Maybe this is what they think about us in the 80s. I don't know. It's just we talk about the optics of it all, and just like, yo, it's not.
It's disrespectful.
It's highly disrespectful.
Right. It's problematic. 2018.
I kind of was. I kind of knew it was always kind of.
Yeah,
I always felt like it was a little racist. Listen,
Mommy, why his lips red?
And listen,
yeah, I really didn't ask that question, but when I got older, obviously, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely.
One of my professors was super woke. One of my high school teachers was super woke, and it was like, why do they have to become this blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy to become super strong instead of, and he just tried to open my eyes. He's like, yo, who's that black guy? Yo, Mr. Popo. I mean, I had that teacher who was just like, made me realize
he was trying to open you up a little bit about it.
We get Jewel and Killer out, and we have Mighty Mask versus Android 18 for the majority of this fight. It's a.
Do you notice
Trunks
the pacing on
versus
this?
21.
The pacing on this compared to like Super is like so weird. Like going back and watching this, like compared to Super, I'm like, man,
it's difficult, isn't it?
It's very difficult.
Yeah, I know, bro. Me and Meelz talk about this shit. We're just like, this is very difficult. It's pieced together so strange.
It's because they fly back. All right, so it's a situation where they fly back between what Vegeta and Goku and Gohan's doing, and then they fly back to over here in the tournament, and then you're trying to like establish everyone, and Mighty Mask is actually Trunks and Goten. I'm surprised no one has realized that, like, yo, this guy looks fucking weird. He has short arms, short legs, but he's still whooping our ass. And actually, he's punching and kicking at the same time. But then again, it's Dragon Ball Z. Like, people have done weirder shit.
It's doable.
Yeah. But everyone's cheering for Android 18 to win, which is a nice moment for the Z Fighters, a nice moment for women, a nice moment for everything. I love that moment. She eventually decides, oh, I know who these people are, when Mighty Mask surprisingly turns Super Saiyan.
It's just, she was like, something doesn't feel right.
That was a fire moment. That was like a heroic moment right there.
Yeah.
If I mean to win this fight, I need to take the initiative now. You sure remind me of two little kids I know named Trunks and Goten.
Whoa! She knows this isn't good! What are we gonna do?
Listen up, Goten. You are in so much trouble, mister!
Trunks! What in the world are you doing up there?
I knew it was those two from the beginning.
So what do we do now that they know it's us?
We go all out. We might as well win if we're busted. Let's get her.
Hey, you kids fighting his Mighty Mask! You're disqualified! Stop it!
Wait, we're disqualified?
Uh-oh. Time to go.
Yeah.
Your tournament was stupid! You get back here, Goten! Don't fly away from your mother!
Grounded! Do you hear me, buddy?
He turns Super Saiyan, she splits them in half, and then you're like, Goten, Trunks! You're not allowed to be in this tournament. You're disqualified. And then they see their moms about to whoop their ass, and they fly away. So I thought that was very
they get
cool.
out. Real kid shit.
How do you feel about Android 18 holding up Mr. Satan?
She did what she got to do, man. 18 is about hers.
And saying, listen, you're going to give me bread now, and you're also going to give me some of your earnings too.
Yeah, it's a real wife.
She basically said she pulled the get down and lay down, and I think that pretty much really kind of showed off her personality there. I really like the android's beginning personality. I think as the saga goes on, they get a little bit softer, obviously, but I think this is one of her best moments in this whole toward the end of the Dragon Ball Z series and a whole.
Yeah, it keeps her important.
Is it
Like good, at least it gives you a visual of what she's still about, even though she's not part of the main story.
I love, you know what? There's something about this World Martial Arts Tournament. I always love it. I always feel like, because it reminds me so much of Dragon Ball. And if you watch Dragon Ball like heavily, like the tournaments were a major conduit to either more major stuff happening or just a great ending to just a long, saga of like development and things like that. Mm-hmm. This wasn't quite that. This was kind of like, as we talked about, it's kind of like filler, and I think it can be classified as filler just because Hercule wins.
Yeah, I think it's important though. I just think it plays a part in just side story, which maybe ultimately without side story, it would be tough to talk about this. Right? Maybe
they really wanted to get over the fact that Hercule is like the world's champion and also the champion of the people. Like maybe that's the case.
That's fair. I guess they do got to show how he always finesses out of a situation, no matter what.
Because that ends up being the ending situation, and quite frankly, some in the middle too. As we move on with Mr. Satan through this entire saga, but that's the World Martial Arts Tournament. It ends. Hercule wins. He owes 18 money and knows that she will find him if he does not get it.
18 loves money, man.
I used to be so annoyed at Hercule when I was a kid. I think that's the point, though. I fucking hated Hercule.
It definitely is the point. Anime does that shit a lot, too. Like, there would be times where, like, I'll be literally disgusted at a character. Like, I don't even want to see him on screen. I'm just aggravated with him.
Like, why the fuck did he have to win?
Yeah, and Hercule.
But then all right, so how do you feel about him now?
Well, after Super and stuff?
I want him in the game. I want him in the game. Shit, I want him in the game.
I loved him. I loved him when he was in Budokai. I think it was two or three. I can't remember. He was in one of the Budokais. Is it because you understand his role in the show, or do you like legitimately think now it's like funny? I don't necessarily think it's funny. I understand that he has the role that they put with him with Majin Buu is important for his character. I don't feel as though they knew what his role was going to be at the end of the show until they started writing the end of the show.
Yeah.
For real. Like, I really don't
think
know.
Hercule's mixed. I think he's a mixed man. Did I tell you that last time, Meelz?
No, you told me that Broly was a mixed man.
I think Broly's a mixed man too, but I think Hercule's a mixed man. His hair's too curly and thick.
Jeff has this,
Jeff got an afro.
He got a fro, bro. He has a fro, bro.
Listen.
Not many people can get that type of blend on their beard either, bro. Just being
Absolutely. There are signs there.
All right, let's fly over. We got a whole bunch of things going on in terms of the search for Majin Buu and all of that stuff like that. We get introduced to Babidi, the wizard Bibbidi, the son of Bibbidi. who revives
Bibbidi Bobbidi.
whose name is Bobbidi, who revives Buu, and everyone who is a 12-year-old chuckles at that and like, oh, I get it. Like, yeah, that was
Bobbidi
me.
Bibbidi Boo.
Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, man.
Bibbidi
Come on,
Bobbidi
get
Boo.
it, get it together. Oh my god. They end up finding the ship. They end up finding the ship where Bobbity's at, and they find, they find that Dabura is there, the king of all demons.
Hey man, Dabura, bro.
Talk
So
about
underrated.
Hey man,
So underrated.
Dabura has one of the best designs on the show. The sword play is fire. I wish it was more. I mean, I wish he was more of a main character at the time.
Especially what kind of happens with him, because not only does he not become any sort of character or anything sort of moving forward, but they kind of just turn him. It kind of like transform him after he dies into like this kind of, I don't know, like sissy.
Yeah, they turn him into filler, bro. They turn him into filler.
It's kind of crazy, but we introduced to Dabura, who is the king of the underworld, the king of the demons, the king of evil, like all this other
stepped out
shit.
the ship, nigga.
With white boots, everything like that. You know what? You knew Dabura was gonna be something with his first move. And
bro, listen. As soon as I saw him, I knew Krillin was done. I knew it was over for Krillin. I was like, oh, that's why they have Krillin come with them this time around. This is a wrap.
So he shows up. They do the thing. You know what I like about this part is that they don't do the thing where it's like we can't sense power levels, so they're just kind of chilling on the mountains and no one's there. They're like, obviously we have visitors. Dabura handle them, and at some point they look. They're like, he knows we're here. And by then, it's already too late for Kibito.
It's too late. He got there so fast, bro. The boy pulled up, boom.
Bodied Kibito. Whatever. You're like a 4th tier character anyway. You don't need to be here. Like, if you were here or not.
It was amazing.
Kibito doesn't need anything. Kibito has no role.
He has no role. It doesn't matter.
I kind of feel like the reason why they fused him and Supreme Kai is because they didn't want to draw him anymore. They're just like, listen, we're spending way too much time drawing 2 people. We learned that Dabura,
that underrated skill.
What happened?
Spitting on people and turning them to stone.
Listen, he spits on Krillin. Krillin's like gross. As anyone who got spit on would.
Who created that ability for him? Because that just seems so disgusting. Like
Supreme Kai's like, oh
no. This is the folly of Supreme Kai. It's a little too late to be, trying to warn him about the spit thing, or maybe he just didn't feel like he was going to turn into spit.
Honestly, they should have said, "Oh, well, that's right." He didn't know because when they pulled up, Supreme Kai was like, "Is that Dabura?" Dabura was there. Although that's Supreme Kai's fault because he really should have been able to find this place without the situation that we talked about last week. This how stupid it was.
Supreme Kai. I hate Supreme Kai. We get to he spits on Krillin, he spits on Piccolo, boom, they're in stone. They're done for. We don't need them. Quite honestly, I feel like they should have left them at the tournament.
They should have never came.
Why they were there.
I don't like killing Krillin and fucking up Piccolo and shit like that. I hated that it became a trope, and it was like as soon as you see those 2 leave, it's like, oh, yep, they're next.
Yeah,
that's it. You know what I'm saying? Super had actual roles for those guys and heroic parts where it actually just made up for it.
Yeah, until Krillin got eliminated first, and then Piccolo got eliminated by that ant guy.
Yeah, but they had way bigger presence.
Yeah. I think I feel like they just. To me, this is a show about Saiyans. Ever since from Z, this is a show about Saiyans.
Mm-hmm.
And
nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters, and I'll say that just because we get the exhibition matches, and I'm not going to go over too in depth in these exhibition matches because you have to go through 3 levels, which to me is like this becomes filler, even though it shouldn't be filler.
Let's surprise Supreme Kai and how strong we are.
It's like, so we already know how strong they are. We are the viewers.
Yeah.
We have known how strong they are for years. To have to prove to Supreme Kai how strong they were, it doesn't mean anything to me. Supreme Kai is already behind the 8 ball at this point to me. His character has already shifted from like mysterious guy with powers to like
regular nigga.
Yeah, he's a
He's just
regular
a regular guy. Yeah.
He's not as strong as the three Saiyans, so he's already behind the 8 ball of that. And then he doesn't really he can't really contribute anything fighting wise. So it's kind of like because he's not an actual warrior like the Saiyans. So
He got the earrings though.
I guess, yeah. So we get Vegeta versus Peeply.
Is that even a conversation that we should have? Like we can skip
No,
that next.
Peeply is like
Honestly, it's
all-time jobber.
I do like Vegeta's commentary during that fight.
Oh, his shit talking. The
shit talking was great. Yeah, he was just he was on some real Saiyan shit. Like he was like, man, he was really feeling himself.
We have Goku versus Yakon.
Horrible name.
Yakon.
Yakon what?
Yakon.
You guys don't like the unique ways that some of those matches went down?
No. I just don't think it was necessary.
It was filler. It was really honestly filler.
Filler fights, man.
It reminded me of, I don't know if you ever watched Dragon Ball, but that Fortune Teller Baba tournament fight thing.
Yeah.
With like the vampire and all these other stuff. It kind of reminded me of that, but even less, cool. Vegeta and Goku pretty much hand yank. They barely turn Super Saiyan. Goku does just as a flex. I feel like he could have beat him on his own. And then we have Gohan versus Dabura, which is like continues this sort of like Gohan is so terrible. Gohan is the worst. Gohan is like
that happened.
I feel like I don't know. Just the fact. All right, so it was Gohan versus Dabura. This is obviously a fight to see how far maybe Gohan is or has come since the Buu Saga. Right, and Vegeta's pretty much like he's not even as strong as he was as a kid, and it's just like, oh,
Vegeta's a hater. Though. Like this whole like arc, this is why I loved it because you get to see the it's like peaks and valleys of Vegeta, where it's like he's cocky, he's a cocky motherfucker, and then he's starting to see like, okay, he's way out of his league towards the end of it.
Gohan versus Dabura lasts a bit until Dabura's just like, I'm gonna go and just disappear for a moment because I think we have something way more enticing going on.
Yeah, he's something. He realized something.
As the king of evil, I feel like this man has a good eye for evil. He's like the A&R of like evil people. He's literally just listen.
He's the DJ Khaled of evil.
The man was just like, but this right here, this nigga right here,
this nigga is evil.
This guy is like, listen, because Vegeta's out there screaming and making a scene and everything like that. Gohan's just trying to fight. Gohan will find his way or he'll get killed, either one or the other. I don't even think Goku would let him get killed, even though Goku's dead. But,
it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. At that point, Goku probably knows some crazy shit techniques that he could handle if he needed to.
Goku apparently can already turn Super Saiyan 3. So all the stuff is just saying, like but there's like various decisions. There's various decisions throughout this arc, through this entire saga, where Goku outwardly says, "I probably could have won, but I chose not to."
And he continues to do this. We're now 20 years removed from this, and he's still doing it.
He's too much, man. He's too much, bro.
Dabura discovers the evil within Vegeta. And he says, Babidi, I need you to put your M magic on him. Throw the M's on him. It's murder up in here, man. Come on. The Irv Gotti of this shit.
Make him ride that 5, player.
Yo. God. So, Majin Vegeta. Let's talk about it because he transforms into Majin Vegeta. I knew of Majin Vegeta.
Coolest motherfucker. The coolest motherfucker.
Veins everywhere.
And I know what you're about to say, Meelz. I feel as though everyone saw Majin Vegeta before we actually knew where he came from.
100%.
I think everyone definitely did.
He had the M on his head. He had veins. He has a thing around his eyes. It's just kind of like crazy. Mm-hmm. My man is looking all types of evil. And I think this is what they wanted to sort of bring back because I feel like, to me, the Buu Saga was like overkill in the Dragon Ball Z thing. Like, it didn't really need to happen. Like, we could have ended after Cell. But this to me is like, when a rapper says, all right, for instance, let's take Lil Wayne. No, he's a bad example. Let's take, fuck it. Who does a sequel to an album and they're just like, oh, this album worked in the beginning. Like, we're getting Port of Miami too. Let's talk about that. Port of Miami to Rick Ross. It's just a clear, just like, this is the beginning where it all started. I'm bringing you back to that. This is, to me, what Majin Vegeta is. This is them saying, we want to make Vegeta evil again.
For a little
bit, because it's always cool to have Goku versus Vegeta, and it doesn't work unless Vegeta's evil.
It's like John Cena, Randy Orton. I mean, it's a match that's as old as time.
They'll continue fighting. It is crazy how this sort of goes up, and then we get the sort of Majin Vegeta part now, where Majin Vegeta, he's evil. They transport them to the scene of the World Martial Arts Tournament, which to me is great. Even though a ton of people died, to me it's just a visual of it all.
No, it was amazing. Yeah, it had to happen, bro.
Because things are finally happening on Earth. Like that's to me what
people gotta die, bro.
People gotta die, and he transports them to the scene of the World Tournament, and we get Goku pretty much saying, like, Vegeta, I'm not trying to fight you, like, blah blah blah. And Vegeta has this great moment of this like great dialogue where he's just like, for years,
the best Vegeta dialogue.
I mean, he's a great at a little pipe bomb promo. My man pretty much saying like, yo, you've forsaken the honor of the Saiyans and you've surpassed me, and I've been trying to fight you for years and you've always been ducking this fade, blah blah blah. It's finally come time to have this battle. Either fight me or people die. That's it. I did not come here to find Majin Buu. I did not come here to flirt with Supreme Kai. I didn't come here to do any of that shit. I came here to fight Goku. You are here for one day only.
Tell me, Vegeta, with that stamp on your head, I know Babbidi's been giving you orders. Is this one of them? Are you trying to fight me because of him? Or is this the same old story between you and me? Which one?
Does it really matter? Not to you, Gohan, but to a warrior it matters greatly. And you know this as well as I do, Kakarot. In a day, you'll be back to the dead, and I will not miss this opportunity.
Who are you people? Don't you see the universe matters more than your meaningless squabble?
Meaningless, huh? What do you know of meaningless?
Because Supreme Kai was like, please don't do this.
Please don't.
Supreme Kai was like, he was like, is this silly beef really worth the Earth thing? And then Vegeta's like, silly? You know, nothing. Like, he's like pissed. He's like, he's already
pissed, bro.
The first thing you do, the main insult you give to Vegeta is calling him his pride is sucky, and then you're going to say that the things that he believes in don't matter. Oh no, nigga,
it's not good, man. It's not good.
Vegeta should have blasted him into space, but we finally get the moment. Go ahead.
When Goku basically threatening Supreme Kai himself, that's when you knew how real that situation was.
This was like an episode of Power.
It was amazing, bro.
This is an episode of Power.
This was the wildest shit I've ever seen in my life, where Goku is just like, Supreme Kai, if you don't move, I'm gonna have to kill you too.
It don't matter. This is important.
And Supreme Kai is like,
Vegeta, man.
Supreme Kai is like, all right, I guess we're gonna have to do this with Gohan.
He knew. He just knows what they're about.
It is crazy. It is really, really crazy how deep this actually goes in. And before we get to sort of the Majin Buu being born thing, we have to talk about this fight between Goku and Vegeta.
I think one of the best, honestly, like the only fight to me that was really good in this arc is this fight. I think this is the only part of the story that I actually like truly enjoyed. I think you have, two characters who this is the crux of their storyline. It's like, because I mean, Vegeta disappears for like what 10, 15 episodes after this. And no, I think he's back after like 3.
No. He disappears for like 10, 15.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, okay, 10, 15. But it's like you have two characters who are so like extremely opposite of each other. You have Vegeta, who is like extreme right, and Goku's extreme left. And this is like you're showing here where it's like Vegeta's inferiority, because like he only makes, because he's able to fight it, but it's like his inferiority kind of feeds into what the Majin form is to him. Yeah. It's like it's preying on his fear. Like he's scared. Like Vegeta is essentially, he's a scared guy. He's scared of being defeated. He's scared of being weak. And the fight kind of shows that, where he's like, I'm willing to kill people to show everybody that I'm stronger than you.
That's true.
Like, it's not bigger.
His fear is failure. You're right. I mean, he just
his fear is failure.
The greatest quote he has is where Goku's just like, so you let him control you, and Vegeta's essentially like, is it control when you finally get what you want? And I was just like, oh my God, this guy's about to drop some heat.
It's almost like his subconscious knew that what he was under, but it didn't matter. He was already there. And it was just like, you know what? I'm in this situation. This is my moment. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's like he essentially let and they say it's Saiyan pride. And I feel like in a lot of ways, like Saiyan pride is Vegeta has a warped version of Saiyan pride. Like Saiyan pride to me, from what Goku has, is Saiyan pride, and that's letting those people, saying I could have beat him, but I didn't. That's Saiyan pride. Vegeta's pride, so to speak, is his inability to let this one moment go, and that one moment is when Goku defeated him years ago.
Mm-hmm. And just the fact that Goku has surpassed him, where he was a low-level Saiyan. Vegeta comes from royalty. He's the prince of all Saiyans. And he strongly, for a long period of his life, believed that he was one of the strongest, people in the universe until Goku showed up. And at every point and every moment, Goku, whether it's Goku himself or through his son, there's a moment where he surpassed. And then
his son, and then Trunks.
Right. And then he just can't take it anymore. And to me, this fight, it's one of the most brutal things I've ever seen. It's a
no holds barred Vegeta. It's a no mistake Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
He's been clearly training for this moment.
Right. He knows exactly what
7
he wants
years.
To do. Right. Exactly.
Or 10 years or whatever.
There's no holding back.
Vegeta, I don't understand. You've never allowed anyone to help you before in your life. Why start now? Why Bobbity?
Because I wanted him to reawaken the evil in my heart. I wanted him to return me to the way I was before! I was the perfect warrior, cold and ruthless. I lived by my strength alone, uninhibited by foolish emotion. But slowly, over the years, I became one of you. My quest for greatness gradually giving way to this life of mediocrity. I awoke one day to find that I had settled down, formed a family. I had even grown quite fond of them. Would you believe, I almost started to think the Earth was a nice place to live. Do you understand now, Kakarot? That's why I needed Bobbity to set me free by releasing the evil in my heart. He has freed me of these petty attachments. And I'd have to say it feels pretty good.
Do you really believe what you're saying?
He's trained every moment, every waking hour, every waking second for this fight, and he knows exactly what he wants to do. Go ahead.
He's bitter. He's really bitter. Like he's bitter that he has. We'll get to this, I guess. Probably in the next segment here, but he's bitter that his defeat has kind of sobered him. He's had to settle down. He's had to have a family. He's had to do things that are normal and that he should do, but he's still chasing this ghost. And in a lot of ways, the things that I don't didn't like about Vegeta's characterization in Super is that he's still holding on to this. But what I did like is that they brought it back in Super, and he finally realized what was important, and it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, they brought it to you so you understand. Okay, this character has grown up.
Yeah, and it made more sense. What his turn in Super, and that meant a lot to me. Like I really love Vegeta. Vegeta is my favorite character in the series. Yeah. But what. In rewatching this, I was like, man, he's really hurt. He's like a scared kid because he's never been beaten before. And Goku's always been there. He's the family man, but he doesn't appreciate his family. He's a powerful fighter, but he doesn't kill people when it's time to fight them. This is Vegeta saying, no, you have to man up. This is what I've always wanted. And I want you either got to kill me or I'm going to kill you.
He gets it in this moment in the fight where he gets the rings and he
restrains
him so he can finally talk to him. He slaps him around a little bit. He is like, listen, this is what you've been doing to me for years. Mm-hmm. This is the moment that you've been doing it for me for years. And I feel like Goku can't truly believe that they're like on this level of like equals in a sense. Like they're fighting and Goku's losing considerably a large amount of the battle until this actual moment. But to me, it's at this time as well where Goku finally like kind of realizes that Vegeta is serious. To me, he kind of like always laughed him off, shrugged him off, like, oh, we'll fight later, we'll do all this other things. But he kind of takes him seriously for the first time, and he snuffs him to shit with a fucking boulder in the face. Like I love that moment. But this fight is just so intense.
I'd say of anything, go back and watch maybe these next 4 episodes. Yeah, because they're all really, really good. I think
that you guys have been storytelling. Turned. They decided to introduce Super Saiyan 3 there. Or would that have taken away from Majin Vegeta?
Yeah, it would have been too much.
Yeah, it would have been too much. To me, it kind of still takes away from it in the end because it's this constant thing of the fight where Goku could have won and just chooses not to.
Yeah, but the reason why he can't continue to remain Super Saiyan 3. And even to date, even now, like he doesn't do it because it's such a straining
form.
It's just too much. It's just too much to handle.
It saps too much energy all at once. But we get to this. Meanwhile, during this fight, they're generating energy from Majin Buu. They're like, oh shit, nigga, it's like it was halfway full before, and now it's like completely full as Gohan and Supreme Kai are, on their way to stop Majin Buu revival, but it's quite honestly too late. And to me, they're not the two to...
This nigga brought Gohan with him, man. He brought Gohan with him.
They're not the two to be able to do this. And this is probably what Supreme Kai was saying it, but Goku knows what Gohan has inside of him, and he's like, listen, just fight with your emotions. Remember what you were fighting for when you were fighting against Cell. Fight with your emotions, make that your strength, make that your guide, and you can win any battle. And quite honestly, Gohan tries to do that, but he's too late in terms of stopping the revival of Majin Buu.
He's been studying, man. He not
Majin Buu is born. Early thoughts.
Most frustrating part, I think you go from. Well, I mean, you knew it had to happen because, of course, we know the name of the saga. We've seen everything that happened, but it was like I felt the. It's kind of like how everything happens in Dragon Ball. It's like just this one moment of negligence always leads to something bigger, and I thought it was like
really big too.
Yeah,
like, it's always something like something that like changes the whole saga.
This moment is the reason why millions of people die.
Yeah. So here's the thing: I have right on the call. A whole bunch of bad decisions are made from here on out.
Yes,
because
seriously, that's it.
It's literally the.
Why would you take Gohan?
Why would you take Gohan?
Why?
Here's the thing: everything always seems out of whack, and I talked about this with the Cell Android saga. Everything always seems out of whack when Goku isn't there. It just everything falls apart.
Everything's chaos.
No one has a solid enough plan. It's usually like Piccolo is like de facto leader and like nothing's going right. Like everything always goes wrong when Goku isn't there. But I believe in this moment, they wanted us to believe that, okay, Gohan was the guy who defeated Cell. Gohan can summon this power. To me, this saga was supposed to be about Gohan, saving the Earth. But then it kind of shifted back to Goku a lot of times.
Well, they said, we let Gohan get busy on Cell, but you already know who the John Cena of this shit is.
Yeah, basically, it's also hard to really move forward with a character that doesn't have any more
of an arc.
Yeah, and any creative, and even from a transformation standpoint, him being half Saiyan, he is what he is. They make little, the mystic stuff and all that later on, but you know what I mean. It's more. It's hard to write for him at a certain point.
And here's where I say where the Cell Saga should have been end. You had this sort of, the storyline throughout Z of this young kid, the son of Goku, who's always shown this like strength and always just tapped into his emotions, and that's always been his guidance, always been his strength. And it came to the culmination. It's literally from the first episode of Dragon Ball Z to the Cell. Yeah. And then what happens from here on out,
literally
through the Buu Saga, kind of, it's so regressive, it's so damaging to his character, and he never truly recovers from it. He doesn't even recover in Super at this point. Like
you do have a really good point. I mean, the first episode of Z was really, hey, Goku's son has hidden ability, and then the last episode is like,
he a bitch.
Yeah, here it is. It's crazy. It's really wild.
It's kind of crazy, but there's a whole bunch of bad decisions made from here. Gohan not destroying the ship before everything was revived. Gohan. Supreme Kai saying they shouldn't destroy Babidi.
Goof move.
Because that was a soldier boy. Huh?
Because he's the only one who can seal Majin Buu back if Majin Buu's free.
Whatever, man.
Which doesn't come into play anyway. Goku trusting Vegeta for a second. We'll get to that. The group deciding to collect Dragon Balls. There's
what the fuck?
They're on their own, man. They're on their own. They're like, we got to fix whatever Vegeta did at this tournament. Vegeta kills thousands of people, and Bulma feels guilty. And Bulma says, we need to find the Dragon Ball. So there's this entire journey of the remaining.
Bulma's like, look, this is my husband.
I'm going to love him regardless.
This can't fall on me. I got to help him out.
I got to right these wrongs.
Yeah. So, always is just overachieving as a whole human being, man.
So they go and find the Dragon Balls. They eventually do. Another major problem. So we have Majin Buu out here. Dabura's
before you say anything.
Go ahead.
I gotta tell the people. And this is when I was reading over our notes before we started this. I got to this part and Meelz literally wrote Dabura Majin Buu bodied, and that is just funny to me.
Listen, Dabura. I don't remember the super timeline of this point, or whether Majin Buu has already begun slapping around Gohan and Supreme Kai. But at some point,
I think that's before.
But at some point, Dabura is just like, I'm fed up with this guy. This guy is a joke. Why do you want him as your ruler? And Bobby is like, nigga, please. Like,
yeah.
He is like, this is the person I have been striving for eons, man. You are nothing compared to him. You are gone. I have a new pink gentleman that I'm here with. Like,
who's way stronger.
We don't need you. Whereas the bro is just like, oh, you don't need me, right? Well, he tries his best. Bodied instantly. Gets turned into a cookie. Bodied. Dabura gone. Eaten. Lunch.
He turned Dabura into a damn edible, bro.
Off top.
How do you feel about this power of turning things to candy?
Do they gain the strength? Do they gain strength from that?
I don't know. It's kind of no. You know what? I don't think so.
No, it's just food for him. I again, it goes into the idea of this arc that evil has no real, evil has no age, really.
Yeah. Although Buu very like playful, it's still playful, aggressive. Kill you.
It's still the most like evil. It's even more evil. It's less evil than like someone like, for instance, a Frieza who is bad and is evil, who's gonna kill you. This is like deceptively evil. This is just like, but he's a child. Like, he's turning him into candy and eating them. Like, it's kind of like it's kind of even more sadistic that you think in this way.
Yeah, it makes you like really think about just the design and. Of anything, I'm not a huge fan of this art, obviously because it's too damn long. But I do like the idea of Majin Buu, and I like the idea that he can be molded. He is a character that is literally like clay, and that the people who controls him, they mold him into who he wants to be.
Whatever he is, yeah.
And in the end, he finally gets to be the master of his own fate, so to speak. But right now, you're showing that like this is a kid that has so much power, but he doesn't know what to do with it. He's like, he thinks it's a game. He doesn't think this is real. Yeah, and I like that idea.
At some point, Gohan tries to step up against Majin Buu. I think he has to do like a super Kamehameha blast, something huge, something crazy.
It was huge.
It does not beat Buu. Buu comes back with quite possibly the some just ball of energy, and it just like blasts him into like space. It's kind of crazy. The only thing that stops him is that Supreme Kai uses his one useful power, which is like
vaporize.
Yeah.
The vaporize attack.
And that stops Gohan from completely dying. It's like he's no longer dead. He's just laying somewhere in the woods, knocked out. It's really kind of like the first frightening thing you see. The fact that out of one of the first
hasn't been killed before, has he?
Yeah, he hasn't. He's one of the first bodies to like really drop, like one of the most important bodies to drop.
I like to say that this kind of period, these I want to say like 4 or 5 episodes, kind of like the Empire Strikes Back of this arc. But the thing is, there's like, like in the end of that movie, the bad guys win. But it's like the only problem with this arc, this whole storyline is that there's like 3 Empire Strike Back moments.
Yeah,
in Majin Buu, it's like he wins all the time. It's like how are you gonna beat him? But this moment is really cool because it shows that it's like, okay, we're fucking with somebody that I don't think anyone in the series has seen before.
Right. This is serious because he's almost killed. Like Gohan is someone who's pure, not known to be a fighter, but all this other stuff, but he's very, very strong. And the fact that, Gohan is one of the first bodies, the man's almost dead at this point. He's like operating on close to zero. It's kind of crazy. And then we head back over to Goku versus Vegeta, in the Hell in a Cell. Goku's like, you feel that? Vegeta's like, nah. Vegeta's like, nah, quit fighting, keep fighting me. What the fuck are you talking about? And Goku's like, nah, you have to feel that. I know you feel that. I know deep down in your bones you feel that. And it's just like, I think Majin Buu has been revived. It's like this bottomless source of dark energy that they can just feel, which is super strong. And there's like,
I don't care about that shit right now, man.
Goku's like, we have to do something about this. And just a boss moment from Vegeta. Just a boss moment in this moment right here. He agrees. He's like, yeah, we got to do something about it. We can hold our fight off for later.
What?
How do you guys feel about that? Yeah. Everybody got quiet. How does everybody feel about that? Like, it went from extreme, drastic Vegeta, anything stop me from winning this, killing you, doing whatever I got to do, to, you know what? This Majin Buu, this nigga's too evil, man. Stop. Let's do this later.
Because it was his arrogance. It was I got him. He's like, I'm going to finish this on my time. It was
right.
So you think his own desire to destroy him?
He wanted to be the guy who saves the Earth. He wanted to be
in his mind, because at this point he had already revealed that he wasn't really under control. He just wanted that extra power. He's already revealed that.
He was essentially that didn't work on me.
He wants to be the hero like Goku. He wants to be a hero too.
Okay.
He wants to be the guy, the end all be all. Whereas Goku and Gohan are ones to save the Earth. It's like, it's Vegeta's time now. Goku turns around. First of all, Goku turns around.
What?
Gets walloped, a double axe handle. The oldest move in the book at this point. Gets completely knocked out. CTEs leaking out his brain.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
That was vivid, man.
Oh my
brain! You mean brain fluid? He might have CTE.
He steals his sensu bean. He's like, I got sensu beans left, and he's like, mine. Steals his
yoink.
Steals his sensu. I love it. I love this moment. Hops down the portal to. Doesn't just show up. He has the grandness of entrance. He doesn't just show up and just like pops up like, here I am. The man blows up Babbidy's ship as an entrance. The man says, I am here. And Babbidy's like, my fucking ship.
Oh, Oh god.
How am I supposed to get off this dirt ball of a planet now? As if you're not like a wizard or anything.
Or you can't fly, or you can't get someone to fly. But okay. Whatever.
I mean, he rides Majin Buu, so maybe
He's just
he can't fly.
bitching.
Well, maybe I think he can fly. Fuck it.
He can fly. I'm pretty sure he can fly.
The fight is on between Vegeta and Majin Buu, and Vegeta's just like landing in every great blow that he can get. But
It's awesome. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch, but it doesn't really.
It strikes him. It strikes Majin Buu, and you learn that he is like, yeah, he's flying through the dirt. Like these moves will do stuff to him, but it's not hurting. It doesn't seem to be delivering any damage.
He's so fat.
Meanwhile, and I'll just say this as a cord because we keep things going. Trunks and Goten show up. They see the stone, Piccolo and Krillin, and then after Dabura is dead, they come back to life and realize that they almost killed Piccolo and Krillin by knocking them over. But they are watching Vegeta fight Majin Buu, and they see Vegeta at this point getting his ass whooped by Majin Buu. It's at this point where Trunks steps in.
You ready to talk about it?
Let's talk about it. It's where Trunks steps in and he kicks Majin Buu. It's always a kick. It's always a straight kick. I love the straight kick. It's the greatest move in Dragon Ball history. It always works for some reason.
They always go flying. They always go out of frame for the next 5 minutes.
It's always something. The straight kick is one of the most underrated moves in Dragon Ball.
It's like, damn, Trunks, all right.
And Vegeta and Trunks have this heart-to-heart moment.
Yep.
Yeah, father-son shit, man.
He says, Trunks, come here. You know what? I'm just play the audio.
Trunks, come here.
Play the audio. I'm about to cry.
Meelz, Trunks, come here.
My son, come here. And he
sounds just like him.
Yeah, that's why it was so funny because he's Trunks, come here.
I've been listening to this for years. And he's just spilling all his moments to him. He's like, you are my son. You're a line of royalty. You are the prince. This is very much so like some shit I expected in like Black Panther. Like maybe it'll come in Black Panther too. Maybe it'll be one of those.
Oh my god.
Where it's just my son, you are, of royalty, blah, 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 And he's giving him this moment, and then he's just like, he punches him. He just knocks him out.
Yeah.
Trunks, you are my only son, and yet I haven't held you once since you were a baby, have I? Come here, son.
Dad, what's wrong? Oh, this is embarrassing. Dad, come on. Cut it out.
Trunks, there's something you must know. You've made me proud, my son.
And Goten,
I think he punches Goten and then he karate chops.
Yeah,
Trunks.
No, he karate chops Goten.
Wait,
okay,
what? No, okay.
He punches Trunks, and then Goten's like, "What are you doing? You're his dad. Like, why are you even like doing this?"
What?
And
Dad,
then
I hate Goten voice. Why did you even do that just now? I told you.
he does the chop, kablow. Goten turns out Super Saiyan. Piccolo shows up, picks him up like sacks of potatoes.
Oh, hold on, we missed something. We missed Piccolo killing Babidi.
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna give him that.
Piccolo with the chop, his first kill in years. Like my man's first, and you know what? It's technically not a kill. He just chopped him in half. So it's a great moment on Piccolo's behalf. He looks like a real strong competitor for this moment.
Whatever, man. It's Bobby.
He grabs the two kids. He grabs the two kids, and he's just like, "You know you're gonna die, right?" Because he's already sensing what Vegeta's planning to do. Mm-hmm. He's already read Vegeta's moves. He's listened to what's going on. He listened to the speech he says to Trunks. He's like, "You know you're going to die, right?" And he's like, "Yes." He pretty much accepts it. And Vegeta has one last question. He says, "In this other world, will I see Kakarot?" And Piccolo breaks it to him that nah, you're going to hell. Like, you have a history of bad. You've killed countless people. You've shown no mercy to things. You're destined to, just going to hell. And I think Vegeta's largely cool with it.
He knows.
He understands.
He understands. He was like, listen, I know what's happening here.
Still gonna do it, nigga.
A very touching moment. One of the greatest moments in Dragon Ball history. It's got to be Dragon Ball. It's
a top 5. It's a top 5 moment for me.
It is the reason that I chose this episode.
Talk about it.
Personally, again, you have, if anything, I think this. And I remember when I was watching Super Meelz, you were like, he has a moment that rivals this, and he does. He really does. I feel as though in that moment, this was the end of that arc of Vegeta. Whereas like he failed to be like that Frieza chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
That Frieza is in Super. But I think that Vegeta finally realizing I've done this one good thing, and I've brought this one good thing into this world. I can go.
I think I finally understand you. Let's go!
What's Vegeta up to, Piccolo? He's crazy! He won't make it! That monster is gonna eat him alive!
For the first time, Vegeta is fighting for someone other than himself. Controlling his own fate. You are a fool! I'm going to crush you and throw you into the wind! Trunks, Bulma, I do this for you. And yes, even for you, Kakarot.
One of the Earth's greatest warriors has vanished in a blinding flash of light, having made the ultimate sacrifice for the sake of his loved ones. His name was Vegeta, a proud Saiyan prince.
I always question. Yeah, it doesn't matter if I die, because this one good thing, I'll see Goku again one day, and people will remember that I did this or I attempted to do this. It doesn't work, but I attempted to do this. I think it's great. One thing I do want to ask: what if they didn't bring Vegeta back? What would this series look like?
Ooh.
If they did not, what if there was a rule in Dragon Ball where if you killed yourself, you can't
get wished back?
Yeah, you can't come back.
Damn.
I don't know. They always make up new rules to make things happen in their favor, but like
Vegeta not coming back.
They would have to move. They would have to give Trunks a bigger role. I think Gohan would.
I think Gohan would have the bigger role. I think it would become more of a storyline with the father and son thing.
I think it'd be Trunks. It'd be Trunks,
I was
obviously
gonna say,
stepping up.
I think Trunks and Goten, they can make something out of that bigger. Even Goten, for that matter. I
There's
told you
a
last
real-
week that they don't talk about him enough.
Yeah, like there's a real missed opportunity there, in my opinion, where you had the next generation right there, and again, you still went to Goku. Yeah. And I thought that this arc could have been a great place where, you know, Goku's going to go back to heaven. Like, he's fine staying there, but if Vegeta doesn't go back, you have an arc for Trunks, you have an arc for Goten because Goku's not there anymore, and you have an arc for Gohan, who has to basically kind of like live up to his father. And I thought that I would, you know, essentially all the Dragon Ball is, or a part of Dragon Ball is like sins of the father and things that you have to live with, you know, that your father has done. Everything that Goku's ever done in his life, it always comes back.
It's very drama sitcom at times when it comes to that too.
Yeah. and I think that it, you know, I don't know. I thought that would be, it's a cool thing. Trust me, I'm glad that Vegeta came back, but I mean, like, just think of the story possibilities if he never came back.
Yeah.
He does this attack where he blows himself up, essentially releases all of his energy in an attempt to blow up Majin Buu. He's like, listen, Majin Buu has come back. I blasted him into oblivion at least 8 times now, and he has come back every single time. And he blows himself up. It's one of the greatest moments in Dragon Ball Z history. I think the episode is called Vegeta's Pride, or Vegeta's, you know, the death of Vegeta, or something along those lines. But it's literally one of the greatest moments in Dragon Ball history.
It's a top 5 moment.
It's everything coming full circle. It is, you know, this thing has meaning, it has depth, it has development. It's right up there with Gohan turning Super Saiyan 2, just because it was built throughout the entire, you know, series of the Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it was the end. It's very upsetting episode. I can always remember watching this episode on Toonami and seeing this, and then at the end of it, it was like, because the episode ends with him dying.
Yeah.
And you're like, the music is great. Him like yelling for 5 minutes is also great too. And then it ends, and you're just kind of left with, holy shit. I don't quite remember if that's when they took a break though. Did they took a break before Super Saiyan 3 or after Super Saiyan 3?
They took a break. Gosh, I don't remember right now.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But it definitely wasn't after this. But if they took a break after this, it would kind of set in just the, you know, just how real this actually was. Like, this was a moment. This was, even the narrator himself is like, you know,
the narrator didn't the narrator cut a promo on Vegeta? Like,
it's something along that.
Went off script, bruh.
Yeah.
The narrator got emotional.
This episode is called Final Atonement.
Mm-hmm. God, it gives me chills. Just like,
yeah, it's everything like that. And then the next episode is like, evil lives on. Spoiler alert. But he blows himself up. Krillin's like, Vegeta, no! I was like, man,
you ain't even like that nigga.
Yeah. Vegeta,
my man Krillin really almost killed Vegeta back in the Dizzy.
Piccolo, you just realize he's dead. Bulma is just like, I just have this sinking feeling in my heart that something's wrong with Vegeta. And I was like, that's adorable women's intuition.
Wifey instinct.
It was sad, man. It was a sad episode, and then to find out that it was all for nothing.
It was all for nothing, which is, how do you feel about that? Because the next episode, evil lives on. We don't see any trace of Majin Buu. I mean, Babidi's there in a half, but you see this cloud, and eventually, no, it's Piccolo who goes back. He's like, I got to see, like, if there's anything left, like maybe Vegeta survived or anything like that, and he sees the cloud over his head, and he sees it forming, and he sees Majin Buu forming, and he just escapes, and he's just like, oh my god, I can't believe he's still alive. He survived that.
Piccolo's scared.
Yeah,
he's thinking, damn, I'm about to have to fight this nigga myself.
But he's just like, yo, there's no way to go through it. This ends with at least this part of the thing. So we end with a few, you know, we end with the fact that Vegeta's dead. We see Piccolo has discovered that Majin Buu is still alive and still a threat to Earth.
And he revives the wizard as well.
Yeah, he heals Babidi. Goku, sleep. Knocked out, drooling on himself. The others are getting the Dragon Balls, and quite possibly everyone believes that Gohan is dead. everyone. Piccolo it gets the news. He overhears the fact when Vegeta's talking. He's like, and I'm gonna get you for what you did to Gohan. And he's like, ugh, Gohan's dead, my son. And Supreme Kai, and just sort of speeding up in sort of this part, Supreme Kai eventually when they revive everyone back, Kibito's back. I don't know why they need to revive.
Wow.
See, Kibito's back.
He's a loser.
You didn't even realize, like, you don't even realize, oh yeah, I guess Kibito would be back too. He like wakes up and he's like, oh shit, like he like, you know that Dwayne Wade commercial where he just wakes up in
he's in a cold sweat.
He's like, oh shit,
hours. Nigga been dead for a few hours, man.
Where's Dabura? I don't sense him. And he finds Supreme Kai. He's like, Supreme Kai, master, you're almost dead. Supreme Kai is like he's barely walking. He heals Supreme Kai. They find Gohan. They decide rather to heal him on Earth, they was like, we're going to take him to the world of the Kais. And, you know, that's where we're ending off on this episode. Episode, 18 of The Lookout.
It's all fucked up now, man.
It's all fucked
really
up.
all fucked up.
Everything seems fucked up right now. This is a great, I had the moment where a whole bunch of bad decisions are made from here. The bad decisions continue to pile up.
The watching continues to pile up. Like, you got to watch a lot of stuff going on.
It's a lot of different things going on. We've got a few more episodes of this. Justin, thank you for coming on, my friend.
No problem, man. No problem. I think I found it. I think I found where they took the break. They took the break right before Fusion Saga, I believe.
Gotcha.
Okay. That makes
So
sense.
they took a break. So we, as a kid watching Toonami, you're like, what? We're restarting the Buu Saga again? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So it's it was right before that. Or was it Kid Buu? I'm trying to find it. I'm really trying to find it. I'm sorry. I because it's bothering me because we all hate it when we watch Dragon Ball and then the next episode they started Vegeta over again, or they started Raditz over again.
They started Raditz over again. That's always the worst troll. You're ready for Monday. You're in your seats. You're like, fuck yeah, man.
And luckily they started actually announcing that they were going to do it, which I was like, thank you for doing that, just so I can.
So they did. You know what? Yes, they actually. They ended. They took a break when Kid Buu appeared.
Yeah.
So the worst time to take a break, you literally have like 10 episodes left in this stupid arc, and they take a break.
And then you got to deal with Kid Buu.
Yeah, they took
It took like a year and a half. Was how many?
It's like 4 months. It looks like 4 months.
Okay.
You know what's
Send
wild?
me that link. I need to like figure out every time I got mad at this show.
I got you, but. We have that, man. We're here at this moment. There's a lot of things going on. I love it all. Justin, thank you for coming through again with your super analysis of all this stuff. Next episode, we are talking. Let's see, what are we talking about next episode?
Buu.
Goku's back. He's like, yo, took a dirt nap. Now I'm back. You couldn't kill the kid. I'm already dead. We have Goku's back. We get some fusion. We get some fusion in this. We get introduced to a new form of Super Saiyan. And Majin Buu may be the evil for now, but he doesn't stay evil for very long. But that'll be next time on The Lookout. Thank you guys for listening to Lookout on RNC Radio. Make sure you subscribe to RNC Radio. You can follow RNC Radio live on Twitter to stay subscribed to everything, or you can subscribe to us on SoundCloud or iTunes, or where else are we at, Justin?
Google Play,
Stitcher. You can find us all there. You can follow Justin at OG Johnny5. He is no longer a music account, but kind of.
No, I'm an anime, wrestling, video game account.
You can follow Jeff, Old Newsboy.
Yeah.
You can follow him there. You can follow me at Meelz TV, MEELZ TV. And stay tuned to The Lookout. This was a great episode. I love it. This was an amazing episode.
It's a good time. I think we made it enjoyable for people who, might not have enjoyed some of the earlier tournament stuff, but obviously everybody should have enjoyed Majin Vegeta. So,
can I say, speaking of enjoying, I am enjoying the shit out of My Hero Academia. I don't know if you've seen this, Justin.
I haven't seen it. Should I watch it?
Not tell me. Yeah, I would watch it.
Watch it.
Is there action? Is there action?
There's action.
Yeah.
If you like superheroes, I mean, everything.
Get through the first few episodes, you'll be solid. You'll be real solid.
Once you get through that, because the first few episodes, I was like, this kid is kind of a spaz, and I don't know why, but it's so good. It's so good.
Good though, it's good.
I'm hitting season 2.
Look, Justin. A lot of hype. Yeah. It's a lot of hype. It is a lot of hype. I don't think it's better than Tokyo Ghoul. I like it a lot, but like I don't think it's better than Tokyo Ghoul.
Well, it's not as dark. It's probably not as violent, right?
Well, it's nowhere near as violent. It's violent, but it's not Tokyo Ghoul violent. It's still very like it's playful anime, you know, but it ain't like it don't make you. Not me, but you know, you've seen Tokyo Ghoul, so
yeah, okay.
It's very good. It's very, very good.
It's good.
It's season 2. It hits its stride, like a very strong stride. So I will listen to that, and maybe we'll end up doing a podcast on My Hero Academia one day.
I'm sure it'll go well.
But listen, until then, listen to The Lookout. Meet us at The Lookout. # meet us at The Lookout. Stay tuned to the conversation. Shout out to everyone who won at Evo. Shout out to everyone who's winning at life, like me, myself, Jeff, and Justin. And, you know, just stay tuned. We'll be back next week with another episode of Lookout. Peace.